Do you know that your brain processes an estimated 70,000 thoughts a day, many of which reinforce limiting beliefs? If you've ever felt stuck or trapped in repetitive negative thinking, you're not alone. But here's some good news. According to Neville Goddard's transformative teachings, you can actually rewire your brain to manifest whatever you desire. In this video, we'll dive into Goddard's powerful insights on rewriting your subconscious script to attract abundance, happiness, and success naturally. Imagine breaking free from cycles of doubt and stepping confidently into the life you've always envisioned. Sound too good to be true? Stick around until the end to discover practical steps you can implement right now to reshape your mental blueprint. Whether you're seeking more financial freedom, better relationships, or improved well-being, these steps can set you on a path of limitless possibilities. Get ready to unleash your mind's fullest potential with unstoppable momentum. Step 1. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. When Neville Goddard talks about assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled, he's not just asking you to think about your goals or visualize them once in a while. No, this is deeper. It's about living in the emotional state of already having what you desire, every single day, as if it's your current reality. It's like stepping into the shoes of your future self, fully immersing yourself in the emotions, sensations, and belief that your desire has already come true. Think of it like this: manifestation isn't just about the thoughts in your head or the images you create. It's about how you feel in relation to those thoughts and images. The key is to feel what it would be like if your desire had already materialized. But why is this so powerful? Well, the feeling is what really bridges the gap between your current reality and the reality you're trying to create. It's the emotional energy that fuels the change, turning what's in your imagination into something that feels real, something tangible. So, what does this feeling really look like? It's not about pretending or pretending to believe. It's not about faking it till you make it. You're not trying to convince your mind that something's true. You're letting yourself experience the truth of it in the now. The key word here is assumption. You're assuming the feeling, meaning you're claiming it as your own before the physical evidence even shows up. When you assume the feeling, your mind and body begin to accept it as fact. Now, let's dive into the nitty-gritty. It's not just about getting in a good mood or feeling hopeful once in a while. It's about becoming that feeling, letting it saturate your entire being. It's about being so sure of the emotional state that you carry it with you, throughout the day, in everything you do. If your desire is about success, for example, it's about walking through your day as if success is already a part of you, no doubts, no second guessing. If it's about love, you feel the warmth, the comfort, and the connection as though it's happening right now. And here's the thing. It's easy to think that manifestation is about getting the details of your wish right. But the universe doesn't respond to perfect images or specific details. It responds to the emotional state you're embodying. You don't need to have everything figured out, you simply need to feel what it would feel like to have it. This emotional assumption has a ripple effect. Once you start living in that feeling, your vibration, your energy, shifts. It becomes magnetic. You start to attract circumstances, people, and opportunities that align with that emotional frequency. It's as if your reality starts to rearrange itself to match what you're feeling inside. So, your job isn't to focus on how it's all going to unfold, or when it's going to show up. Your job is to stay locked in that feeling. Here's where it gets really cool. When you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you're not waiting for the outside world to change. You're changing yourself from the inside out. You're rewiring your mind and emotions to align with a new reality. It's like you're preparing yourself to live in a world where your desires already exist. And once you've planted that seed, it's only a matter of time before your external world reflects what's going on internally. One thing to remember is that this feeling has to be real for you. It can't be an intellectual exercise. It has to be felt with the depth of your heart, with every fiber of your being. And yes, it takes practice. Some days you'll feel it more strongly than others, but every time you step into that emotional state, you're getting closer to making your desire a reality. In the end, assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled isn't just about attracting what you want, it's about changing your perspective. It's about learning to see the world not as it is, but as it could be, and then stepping into that world with full conviction. The feeling, after all, is the catalyst for everything else. So take a deep breath, let yourself feel it, and trust that your desires are already on their way. Step 2. Persist in the assumption despite external circumstances. Alright, so now that you've learned how to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, there's one more essential part to this process: persistence. But here's the thing, this isn't just about having a fleeting moment of confidence or excitement. This is about holding on to your assumption even when life throws a curveball. You know, when things don't look the way you expected, when reality seems to be going in the opposite direction of what you want. It's in those moments that persistence becomes not just useful, but absolutely crucial. Let's be real for a second, life can sometimes be messy, unpredictable, and downright frustrating. You might feel like you're doing everything right, feeling the feeling of your wish fulfilled, and yet, nothing around you seems to reflect that. People might doubt you, things might fall apart, and all the logical evidence may point to the fact that your dreams are nowhere in sight. But here's the secret, none of that matters. Not one bit. When Neville Goddard talks about persisting in your assumption, he's encouraging you to remain steadfast in your inner reality, no matter how the outer world looks. It's like being anchored in your truth, even when the storm of doubt and external circumstances is swirling around you. In fact, if there's anything that's going to test your faith in the process, it's going to be those moments when the universe seems to be giving you the opposite of what you desire. But that's exactly when you need to dig in and hold your ground. You've got to stay locked in on your assumption, staying true to the emotional state of your fulfilled desire, even when everything outside tells you otherwise. This step isn't just about stubbornness, it's about trusting that your inner world shapes your outer reality. Think about it like this, the moment you start reacting to what's happening outside, you're allowing the external to dictate your inner state. It's easy to feel defeated when you don't see immediate results. It's easy to slip into doubt when the evidence doesn't align with your assumptions. But that's the exact moment when you've got to double down on your assumption. So, let's break it down. Persistence in the assumption doesn't mean ignoring the facts of your external world. It's about not letting those facts define what's possible for you. If your reality doesn't seem to reflect your wish yet, that's just part of the process. It's like planting a seed and then being disappointed that it doesn't sprout overnight. But the seed is still there, growing beneath the surface. The same goes for your assumption. Every moment you persist, even when the external world seems to say otherwise, is a moment that's adding fuel to the fire. It's like you're reinforcing the reality you're building, brick by brick, no matter how slow or unseen the progress feels. This is where the real work lies. Most people give up too soon because they can't see the results fast enough. They forget that persistence isn't about seeing immediate returns, it's about staying true to the feeling of the wish fulfilled, even in the face of setbacks. It's about choosing to trust that what you're feeling and assuming on the inside will inevitably show up on the outside. Think about the concept of delayed gratification. It's a little like that, but on a mental and emotional level. You're essentially setting up your own inner world and patiently allowing the outer world to catch up. The universe, in its own mysterious way, begins to rearrange things to match what you've decided on the inside. But if you waver, if you shift your assumptions based on what you see, you're sending mixed signals to the universe. You've got to stay in that assumption, day after day, moment after moment. This requires faith not in some external force, but in yourself and the process you're part of. Persistence, in Neville's terms, isn't about forcing things. It's about staying with what you've assumed, even when it feels hard or frustrating. It's trusting that, just like the seasons change, your desire is also on its way to manifesting. And the more you persist, the stronger your belief in this process becomes, creating a momentum that eventually shifts your reality. So, what's the takeaway here? It's simple: when things look off track, when reality doesn't seem to reflect your desires, that's the time to dig in even deeper. Keep feeling the feelings of your wish fulfilled, keep assuming it's already done, and trust that your persistence will pay off. Because here's the real magic: the moment you fully embody that feeling and refuse to let go of your assumption, the world around you begins to shift. You might not see it immediately, but trust me, it's happening. Step 3. Use visualization to create a vivid mental image of your desire. Alright, so by now, you've assumed the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and you've stuck to that assumption, no matter what's going on around you. Now comes one of the most exciting and powerful steps: using visualization. This is where you get to dive deep into the creative process of manifestation, painting a picture in your mind so vivid that it's almost like you're living your dream right now. But let's pause for a second and really think about what visualization is. It's not just about seeing something in your mind, like flipping through mental photos or daydreaming. It's about crafting a scene so real and immersive that it feels like you're physically there. When Neville Goddard talks about visualization, he's not asking you to simply imagine your goal. He's asking you to create an experience, something that involves all your senses, all your emotions, and your very being. Imagine your desire isn't just a thought, but a fully fleshed out, 3D world that you can walk through. Now, why is this important? Well, the more real you can make the experience feel to yourself, the more your brain starts to believe that it's actually happening. Your subconscious doesn't know the difference between what's real and what you vividly imagine. So, when you paint this mental image, you're essentially tricking your subconscious into believing that this desire is not some distant, abstract future, it's a present reality. Your mind begins to operate as if it's already manifested. And when your subconscious takes this in as truth, it starts aligning with it, directing your actions, thoughts, and even your energy toward bringing that vision into form. But let's get into the specifics of what visualization can really look like. It's not about just picturing the end result in a blurry, half-formed way. No, this is about getting detailed, almost obsessively so. Close your eyes and take yourself to the exact moment your desire comes true. What does it look like? What do you hear? What do you smell? Are there any sensations you feel physically in your body? For example, if your goal is to be successful in your career, visualize every detail: the office, the meetings, the people, the phone calls. Picture yourself confidently walking into the room, hearing people congratulating you. The key is to feel those emotions in your visualization. What does success feel like in your body? Is there a warmth, a rush of excitement? A sense of calm certainty? And don't stop there. The more you can pull in all 5 senses, the more powerful your visualization will be. Hear the sounds of the environment. Imagine the texture of objects, the taste of success in your mouth, or the scent of the air. The richer you make the details, the more you'll trick your mind into accepting this reality. It's almost like you're staging a play, and you're both the actor and the director. Everything has to be aligned to bring this scene to life. Now, here's the thing: visualization isn't just about making this mental scene clear and detailed. It's also about consistency. You can't just visualize once and expect things to magically change. It's like you're rehearsing for a big role. You've got to immerse yourself in it regularly, experiencing that scene as if it's already part of your life. The more often you can revisit this mental image, the stronger the belief in your subconscious that it's inevitable. Over time, these images, feelings, and experiences start to feel less like imagined moments and more like memories. So, what happens when you persist in this? Here's where the magic starts to unfold. Your mind begins to rewire itself. The thoughts, beliefs, and actions that once felt out of reach are now more accessible. you'll start noticing small changes in how you act and respond to situations. You might find that you approach challenges with more confidence, or that opportunities seem to open up in unexpected places. Your reality begins to shift, because you're not just envisioning your desire, you're aligning your whole energy to match it. But there's a catch: sometimes the visualizations might not feel perfect right away. Maybe you struggle to get all the details, or it feels a bit like a hazy daydream. Don't worry. The more you practice, the clearer and more natural it will become. And that's key: this is a practice. It's not about perfection, it's about immersion. Think of it like training a muscle. The more you work on it, the stronger your ability to visualize, and the more easily your mind will naturally fall into that mental space. And one final thought: never underestimate the power of emotion when visualizing. The feelings you associate with your visualization are just as important, if not more important, than the images themselves. When you combine vivid imagery with deep, genuine emotion, that's when you really start to send a signal to the universe that you're ready for this to manifest. So, the next time you sit down to visualize, make it an experience. Create a scene you can step into and feel as real as if it's happening now. The clearer and more real you make it, the closer you'll get to seeing it in your physical world. Step 4. Control your thoughts and focus on the desired outcome. So, by now, you've gotten the hang of assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled, sticking to that assumption despite the chaos around you, and using vivid visualization to really live out your dream in your mind. Now comes one of the most crucial, yet sometimes tricky steps: controlling your thoughts and focusing on the outcome you desire. You see, your mind is like a wild, unruly animal. It jumps from thought to thought, often without you even realizing it. And here's the catch: if you let that wild mind run the show, it'll start thinking about everything you don't want. The worries, doubts, and fears will creep in, and you'll find yourself focusing on the exact opposite of your goal. The mind loves to go on autopilot, but if you're serious about manifesting your desires, you've got to step in and take control. Now, controlling your thoughts doesn't mean trying to shut them all down or pretend you don't have negative ones. That's a recipe for frustration. What it means is that you direct your thoughts, like a captain steering a ship. The goal isn't to avoid all negative thoughts, but to choose not to dwell on them. It's about noticing when your mind is wandering and gently bringing it back to the desired outcome. Think of it like being a gardener in your own mind. You've got to prune the weeds and make space for the flowers to grow. This is where the power of focus comes in. When Neville talks about focusing on the desired outcome, he's encouraging you to zoom in on your end goal with laser-like intensity. And I don't mean just casually thinking about it. I mean really focusing on it, like your life depends on it, because, in a way, it does. Every time you start thinking about anything else, anything that doesn't align with your goal, gently pull your attention back. You don't need to force it, but you do need to redirect it. At the start, it might feel like a tug-of-war between your desires and the barrage of random, conflicting thoughts your mind generates. That's normal. What's important is that you keep guiding your focus back to the positive, desired outcome. It's like you're training your mind to stay on track, like a dog that wants to chase after a squirrel but learns to stick to its owner's side. The more you practice this, the more natural it will become. Eventually, you'll find that your mind starts to automatically focus on what you want, not what you don't. But there's another layer to this: thoughts are just the beginning. You can't just think about your desire once in a while and expect it to manifest. It's about living and breathing your desired outcome all the time. Imagine if you could tune into the feeling of having already achieved your goal every time you have a thought. Not just when you're meditating or in a quiet moment, but throughout your entire day. Every time a thought arises, you redirect it, but you also reinforce that focus with your emotions. It's like a constant feedback loop. You think about the desired outcome, you feel the emotions associated with it, and then you think about it even more. What's powerful here is that when you maintain focus on the desired outcome, you start to train your subconscious to filter out distractions. Your brain becomes more attuned to noticing things that align with your goal, while ignoring the rest. It's like tuning a radio station to the perfect frequency. The more you focus on your desired outcome, the clearer the signal becomes, and the more you'll start to notice things that bring you closer to it. But here's the tricky part. The moment you lose focus, even for a second, your mind can easily slip into old, limiting beliefs. Thoughts of doubt, fear, or scarcity can sneak in, convincing you that your goal isn't possible. This is where persistence comes into play again. The key is to not react to those thoughts, but instead to continue to focus on what you want, as if it's already happening. It's like training a muscle. You might not see the results instantly, but with consistent practice, your mental focus becomes sharper and more automatic. Over time, this process will start to feel less like a struggle and more like second nature. Your thoughts will begin to naturally gravitate toward your goal. When you're able to control your thoughts and focus on the desired outcome, you're setting the stage for the universe to respond. Your thoughts are energy, and what you focus on expands. If you focus on abundance, success, love, or whatever it is you desire, you'll start to see those things reflecting back at you. So, let me leave you with this: your thoughts are powerful. They shape your reality more than you realize. If you can learn to direct and control them, you're not just daydreaming about your desires, you're actively creating them. Keep that focus sharp, stay persistent, and remember, every time you redirect your thoughts to your desired outcome, you're one step closer to making it real. Step 5. Practice gratitude as if your desire has already manifested. So, you've been assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled, staying focused on your desired outcome, and visualizing it as if it's already real. Now, let's dive into one of the most powerful steps in Neville Goddard's method: practicing gratitude, but not just any gratitude. You're going to practice gratitude as if your desire has already manifested. And trust me, this step is a game changer. You might be thinking, why gratitude? Isn't that just a nice thing to do? Well, here's the thing: gratitude isn't just about saying thank you or being polite. It's about aligning your energy with what you want. When you practice gratitude for something that hasn't physically shown up yet, you're essentially tricking your mind into believing that it's already yours. And guess what? When your mind believes it, it starts to align your thoughts, actions, and energy with that reality. It's like this: gratitude is the emotional bridge that connects your desires to your current reality. When you act as though your desire is already here, when you give thanks for it in the present moment, you're signaling to your subconscious that it's already true. And the subconscious doesn't question it. It starts to believe that it's already done, and from that place, the manifestation process speeds up. But how do you do this? How do you feel grateful for something that hasn't arrived yet? It's all about shifting your mindset from lack to abundance. Instead of thinking about what you don't have or what you're still waiting for, you turn your focus to what you already have. This doesn't mean ignoring your present circumstances. It means choosing to feel thankful for what's on the way, for the blessings that are already in motion behind the scenes. So, every time you think about your desire, practice feeling gratitude. Close your eyes and feel the emotions you would feel if it had already manifested. Thank the universe for bringing it into your life, for the opportunities that are coming your way, and for the experiences that you are about to enjoy. Be specific. Instead of just a generic thank you, think of the little details. Thank the people who will be part of your journey. Thank yourself for taking the steps to make it happen. Thank the universe for the way it's aligning everything perfectly for you. The more specific you get, the more real it feels. It's also important to feel that gratitude deeply, not just as a mental exercise. Gratitude is a powerful emotion, and when you truly feel it, your energy shifts. You're not just saying thank you to check off a box, you're embodying that emotion of fullness and satisfaction. It's like wrapping yourself in a warm blanket of appreciation and joy. When you feel that, you're vibrating at the frequency of having your desires already fulfilled. And when you vibrate at that frequency, things start to match it. This doesn't mean you're ignoring your current reality or pretending things are perfect. You don't have to fake it. The beauty of this practice is that it's about truly shifting your mindset. It's about looking at your present life and acknowledging that it's already part of the process. Everything that's happening right now is setting the stage for your desires to come through. Even if it doesn't look exactly how you imagined, there's always something to be grateful for. Here's where it gets interesting. Practicing gratitude like this also trains your mind to focus on the positive. Instead of obsessing over what's missing or the obstacles in your way, you start to notice the little things that are already working in your favor. Maybe it's a small opportunity that popped up. Maybe it's a conversation that made you feel inspired. Maybe it's the simple fact that you're taking steps every day toward your goal. These things are all signs that you're on the right path, and when you acknowledge them with gratitude, you're creating even more momentum for your desires to flow in. Gratitude also helps you release resistance. When you're in a state of appreciation, you're not forcing things to happen. You're surrendering to the process, trusting that it's already unfolding for you. And when you release that resistance, the universe has more space to deliver what you've asked for. So, every day, make it a point to practice gratitude as if your desire has already manifested. Feel it, immerse yourself in it, and let that energy grow. The more you do this, the more it becomes your default state. And when gratitude becomes your default state, your desires are no longer distant, they're already part of your reality. The manifestation process speeds up, and you become a magnet for everything you've been visualizing, focusing on, and being grateful for. Remember, gratitude is a powerful tool in shaping your reality. When you practice it as if your desire has already arrived, you're aligning with the energy of abundance, attracting more of what you want. It's like planting seeds in a garden and knowing they're going to bloom. And when you believe that, when you feel that belief, the universe has no choice but to reflect that back to you. That's it for today, Modern Stoics. Remember, rewiring your brain is key to effortlessly manifesting your desires. By changing your thoughts and beliefs, you're shifting your entire reality to align with your goals. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tips on manifesting your dream life. I'd love to hear how you're rewiring your brain, so leave a comment below and share your experience. Stay focused, stay positive, and I'll see you in the next one.